Hello everyone. So today we're going to be going over a vaping kit that I received from Steeps for the purposes of the review. I actually got this quite a while ago, but I was waiting on some further information before reporting back to you guys. This is the company. This is a little pamphlet that you get. We'll go over briefly in a second. This is what my package looked like. I don't know if yours will look the same. Obviously there'll be a device in there and then it'll have like the contents on the back. So what this comes with is 2 coils. They're pretty small. They're 1.5 resistance and they are nickel. So if you have an allergy, bear that in mind. It has a charging cable, the accessory kit, which is like a spare bag of O-rings, glass, things of that nature. And then you get the user manual, which is this little pamphlet, and that's about it. So what the device looks like is your standard vape pen from a couple years ago. It's got a tank. It has a 2 milliliter capacity. You are going to want to use thinner juices in here, like a 50-50, 50 VG, 50 PG, that kind of viscosity. I tried it with 70-30, 70 VG, 30 PG, because that's pretty much kind of the standard these days. And it did not work well because it wasn't able to wick. I kind of figured it probably wouldn't, but I wanted to test it because, again, that's kind of the standard. It does have adjustable airflow control towards the bottom, that little notch. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because of the glare. But yeah, you can see it right there. You just turn it left or right and it will restrict your draw. So that's pretty cool. That's about it. It's got a drip tip built in. I don't know if you can remove it. I kind of don't want to mess with it too much. The tank comes apart, kind of. The top part comes off. That's how you fill it. It didn't give any instructions, I don't think, specifically of how to fill it, because a lot of times you're going to want to cut off your airflow when you're filling it just to make sure the vacuum is secure and that you're not going to have leaking toward the bottom. It doesn't say anything like that in the instructions. It just says that you unscrew the cap counterclockwise and refill and to wait 10 minutes for your coil to saturate before using. Now, what I recommend is priming the coil as well. As you can kind of see, I mean, if you're familiar with any kind of coils like this, I mean, they're pretty much all the same. That little, you can't really see it. Let's see if I can find the other one that I opened. This one is the one I used originally with the 70-30 liquid. It's so small that's kind of hard to focus, but yeah, you can see the little notch on the side and at the top where your coil and wick is. I would just saturate that a little bit with e-juice before putting it in the tank and filling, just to make sure you're not going to get any dry hits. Charging is pretty standard. Now, this was part of the reason I didn't complete the review months ago, and it's still kind of up in the air because I got 2 different replies and they kind of contradict each other. One says that the light goes blue when fully charged. The other one says that the light extinguishes once it's charged. So I don't know. I'm guessing it'll be blue when it's charged because when you push the fire button, it's blue, which indicates that it has a pretty high battery percentage. It does say that the blue light is greater than 30%, purple is less than 30%, and then you're going to get red if it's less than 6%. So basically when you hit the red, you're going to want to charge it. It does have overload protection, so if you're firing it too long, it'll stop, I guess. And it does have short circuit protection, which is when the red light flashes 5 times. Short circuit is typically meaning that your coil isn't seated properly, so it's not making a connection between the battery and your atomizer. So, how does it vape? That's probably what you're wondering. Let's find out. pretty nice. I got a little bit of gurgling, not anything crazy. Flavor is not exactly like what I get from dripping it, which is kind of to be expected. Anytime you're vaping in a tank, typically you're going to notice a little bit of a change between when you're dripping. Newer tanks are a little closer to matching the flavor on an RDA. They're not exactly the same to me, but I'm not a big tank user, to be honest, so I'm not the best person to go to about that. The airflow is pretty nice, wide open. It's not too restrictive, so we're going to tighten it down a little bit just to see. So tighten down almost completely. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. My hands shake too much. It's fairly restricted, but not as restrictive as like a cartomizer or something with a really tight draw. Like, it's still not crazy tight, but it's, I don't know, it's good enough for me. I don't really like restrictive hits anyway, so the airflow is fine for me. The vapor production is decent. This type of device, you're not really going to be using it for chucking clouds. It's more of like a discrete vape, or if you're concerned of like the TPD requirements, this is something that you might want to look into, which is, I think, mostly a UK thing. Price on this is £24.99. I was only able to find it at this one site when I looked. It like came up right towards the top. So yeah, I don't know how pricing is over in the UK. Device availability, I don't know if it's the same as over here. To me, it's a little bit of outdated technology. Like, this is something you would have seen several years ago as far as the States. But that being said, in the States we do have a rapid influx of new products. So there's that. And then, like I said, it is TPD compliant. So if that is a concern, this device would be compatible. Outside of that, I mean, it's nice. It's small. Like, this is a 30 ml bottle of juice. It's about as tall, you know, with the tank and everything. So, I mean, you can put it, I don't know if you'd want to put it in your pocket. I guess you could. Just be careful about the glass with the tank. I do like that it comes with spare parts, because if you've ever had a tank, you've probably cracked the glass at some point or another, and it has the extra O-rings in case you lose them. I almost lost one taking it apart and cleaning it. Another downside outside of just being kind of outdated is, as far as I was able to tell, I didn't want to break it, but it doesn't break down completely. They sent me two, so I'll show you the clean one, because this one obviously has juice in it. You can take the top part off pretty easily to like refill it and whatnot. And again, I would recommend closing off the airflow to where it's closed before filling. It doesn't say to do that, but it really couldn't hurt. But yeah, this little O-ring is what I almost lost. But anyway, like, as far as getting like the rest of the glass off, like, this O-ring or this adjustable airflow ring does come off. But apart from that, I don't see that this glass actually comes off. I would imagine it'd have to, because it comes with the spare glass. It's just hard to come off, which I guess could be a good thing. So it's not the easiest to take apart to clean. And typically when I've come across that in a tank where it's hard to come apart, it tends to put a lot of stress on the glass, which would make it break easier. But that's just speculation. Other than that, I mean, the threading is nice, the quality's decent. There's really nothing wrong that I've been able to see. I do wish the instructions that came with it were a little bit more detailed, but I don't know if what I got was the market version or something, you know, pre-released. So I don't know. But I mean, the flavor's okay. Like I said, it's not like fantastic, but it's okay. Vapor's decent, and I don't know, the price isn't bad, I would imagine, for something over in the UK. Again, I don't live there, so I don't really know. But yeah, check them out. It's Steeped Vape Company, and this is the S1 kit. Again, I found it at this one website. It's kind of hard to pronounce. I'll put it in the description below. It's like electrofog.co.uk. But yeah, and I guess there's free delivery in the UK for all orders above 20 pounds, so this would be free shipping. So yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions, put them below and I will try to get the answer for you. Bye!